All right. Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Greg Dixon from Shared Visions Unlimited Publishing and Marketing. And today I'm going to introduce and explain a little bit more about my power publishing and marketing process. And the question here is it for you? So I'm gonna do a few things. Let's say I'm gonna just post this here. This is basically what. Let's see. What's the best one here? Yeah, right here. So the goal is to build authority, influence, and sales for you. So I have a question. It says, are you, for one, are you doing marketing? And I'm going to define marketing as putting the word out in public, uh, which could be a website, social media, articles, anything describing what you do, what your product and services, and maybe isn't even necessarily a business. It's an idea you want to promote. You want to want to have peace on earth. So, just if you want to just put in the chat yes or no, if that applies to you. And the next question is, are you happy with what your results are? In other words, are you getting the traffic? Are you getting the clients? Are you getting the sales that you really want? So the answer for most people is it could always be better. And so my system here is a way of covering the base to help improve all areas of your marketing. So so that I I have some so with our total traffic conversion crew, it's Roy DeCan, and he and I are going to do a broadcast on on Friday about this. Is there are a couple of steps to improving your online presence and making sales, and along the lines of Dan Kennedy is you need to have a consistent message and you have to need to have a message everywhere. So in general, what does your online profile look like? Do you have a LinkedIn profile that reflects what you're doing now? You have links to places for people to order, make appointments with you. Is it effective? So I've we've got a LinkedIn bias. Many of our clients we deal with in LinkedIn. We are project teams. We communicate using LinkedIn. We communicate amongst each other. So we have a LinkedIn bias, but that applies to everything. It applies to your YouTube profile, your Facebook groups, Instagram, all of those things. So I guess the first question is, do you have a consistent message that you're putting out there? The next thing is do you have a landing page or a website where people can find out about you, your products, and your services, or your books, or anything like that? That's a single point where they can find out information. I've I'm a bit shocked actually that I meet somebody in a networking group and I go into their LinkedIn profile, and sometimes their LinkedIn profiles are pretty good and sometimes they're not, but I'm amazed at how many people don't actually have a landing page or a website so that people can find out more about their products, their books, whatever it is, and order. And I brought it up to somebody recently, and she said, "Well, she's got a Google profile." And the irony is, I couldn't find her Google profile on Google, and that's if you think about it, that's not what it's intended for. So for me, her marketing, even though she's very successful in what she does, highly successful in her little niche, um, it's like your marketing vehicle is missing the driver left wheel, and it's like your four-wheel vehicle's only running on three wheels and missing something pretty big. So that's the one thing. If you're in that state, that's one of the things I would suggest that we fix. So um, you've been playing the online presence. Basically, the ideal with the online presence is you want to be able to find out about you easily with Google searches or everywhere. Or if you're in a networking meeting, send a link. And if your LinkedIn profile is doing it, then or your website's doing it, then that's what you'd send. But generally, you could put multiple places in there. So how do you improve your presence online? And really, I think it's consistent action. So the really good marketers will be posting stuff on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok daily, and sometimes more than once daily. And collectively, that builds up an impact. Like, for example, if you search for Greg Dixon writing or Greg Dixon marketing, chances are you're going to you're going to see a number of listings for me in the search in the front page. That's going to include YouTube videos, LinkedIn, blog posts, all that kind of thing. Part of my power publishing and marketing process are a couple of things that I do. That I can take a new product and get it out there, get it listed in the search engines, get it out, get eyes on it in a couple of days. 5 days of consistent posting. I do a thing called this. It's a power posting, where I'll write a blog post. I'll pre-schedule a broadcast. Like, this broadcast is going out to LinkedIn, YouTube, my Facebook profile, and three Facebook pages. It could go out to Instagram and a few other places, but it's enough, really. And I've got a link back from the show notes from here. I will put it in back into the article, and there's an article right now. Like, could be watching this right now because you found the article and you clicked on it, and you could watch this replay or watch it live. That's a very powerful process. And I've done it where I've done something from scratch, created a post, created a broadcast, and an hour later I've searched on YouTube, and the article and the YouTube broadcast will show up, sometimes LinkedIn, and I'm also now putting things out on as a podcast, and which goes out to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and a bunch of other places. So it's a way of getting the word out far and wide. There are things that you can do in order to build up your audience on any one platform, but really just simply doing it consistently will get out there. And if people are searching for what you offer, they will find you. And that is the key. You have to be offering something that somebody wants. It's really hard to manufacture demand for something that they don't need, they don't know that they want or need. It can be done, but it's hard work. But if you've got something, like, I have a tremendous success with promoting concerts and stage productions and musicals, that more or less people just need to know that it's on, what the time is, click the button, buy the tickets. Yeah. So it's all. So what basically, if you're working with me, I'm going to come up with I do an assessment of where you're at online, and I'll identify tweaks and identify places for improvement, things to add. And most of these things are not onerous. So they're all things you can do yourself. And I'm coming up with, I'm going to write a book on this, put out a book, and I'm going to probably have a mastermind or a membership program. So if you want to do it yourself, we'll get together once a week, and you can ask questions, and I'll make suggestions. It's all things like, you can probably today, when you got a time, got 5 minutes, go check out your Facebook profile and see if it's still describing what you want to do as best that you can. Maybe you want to change your profile photo. That automatically triggers some attention. It's all things are good. So yeah, so that's so I'm just going to put a comment here. What I've been describing here from a marketing point of view is this. Yeah, so the power publishing and marketing process will attract clients and customers to your products and services. So that's basically the mission, is you want people to come track you down, find you for what you offer. And if you've got something that people really need, they will find you. And what I'm saying is we're going to do a process, daily process, suggest that you do regular posting and emails. Okay, I'm going to bring up email here. If you talk to most people who teach marketing, they will say that your mailing list is probably your most valuable commodity. And it's one thing they can't take away. You probably heard lots of whining in the news lately, that people have built up a whole industry on TikTok. And then, TikTok may disappear, may not disappear. Somebody had 40,000 contacts through TikTok, making quite a lot of money, and it could be just gone overnight. That's the same. You could be running some AI bot on your LinkedIn. It'll ban your your LinkedIn account. Facebook's pretty good, pretty quick to shut down people's accounts for whatever reason. And so, and a mailing list is yours forever. And part of the strategy for your marketing will be to build your mailing list. And marketing really is just putting out the message. In a way, marketing and publishing are interchangeable. All marketing is a form of publishing, no matter what the medium is. It's a form of publishing. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is for this is for you if you're a book author. So we Betty Withrow and I work with authors. Some of them start with Betty as book clients for writing the book, but we also have people come in and they just they want to breathe new life into their into their book. So we're working with a client now who have put out a number of we put out a number of business books, and then he also wrote a series of books and Audible files on killing ghosts with a guitar. And he went through a publisher years ago. So it's all the stuff's available on Amazon, but it didn't work out well. So he's in the process of getting the rights back from everything he published before, and we're relaunching everything. So my mission today is I'm making book covers, and I'm going to be formatting these books. Betty did some editing, and then when we're done that, we're really what needs to happen is a complete marketing launch of the books again and the Audible again. And again, that's what everything that I talked about for getting your products and services, your coach, all that stuff also applies to launching a book. The irony of a book is a book can open doors, but you need to market the book so you can open the doors. So that's one thing. And so what that would look like is we'll with a book, there's a couple of things. One is we'll create a landing page, again, a landing page for the book, a place to get it. Just a list of, in his case, we need a list of all of the books that are available. And we're going to suggest that he'll do a campaign, which is with social media. You can put out, it doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be excerpts, or it could be just really little banners that put out in Facebook, LinkedIn, all those places, directing people to come back to the landing page and order the books, and go from there. With authors, if an author wants to get their book into bookstores and libraries and things like that, then part of the campaign is setting out query letters to all their targeted distributors, booksellers, and just sort of make a pitch. Says this is the book. It may fit into your bookstore. consider ordering it. So we often will put things into Ingram Spark, which has a catalog system. Basically, in theory, any library or company or anybody who sells books can order the book out of that catalog. There are other channels of doing that, but that's one thing. And with one of the things with the book is I'm involved with Kim Walsh Phillips and Justin Greeny in a sort of a speaking a program designed for people who want to speak to large audiences, get paid to speak, make money speaking. And one of the requirements that they have is you need for one is you need a speaker's website. You need to have a really good presentation. That would be really good. A sizzle reel, which is some video describing you as a speaker and what you have to offer. And then you need to have a book. So all those things. Oh yeah, and the social media thing is she suggests doing 4 posts a day, which is that some of you probably have your head is spinning at the idea of putting out 4 a day. But I just have to say, with tools, I use Meet Edgar, which allows you to post to multiple platforms, and there's some AI built into it. You can just make variations of it. Maybe you see a bunch of things that show up in your feed, and they're really saying something similar, and it's just variations of it. And it's not that hard to create. It's not that hard to create yourself, and not that hard to publish yourself. And then you could have somebody that's a service that could be included in your work with me. I'll create a bunch of content for you that you can put out on your social media, and maybe I can do the social media posting myself through using the tools that I use. But there are other tools available, Meet Edgar and other things. It doesn't have to be that hard to do this, but the whole lesson here is you need to be consistent, and you need to be out there everywhere. The Dan Kennedy thing is put your message on all the medium, all the platforms, and especially email, and good things will happen. And along the lines of a book, Dan Kennedy's, if you've ever read a Dan Kennedy book, you realize that the books themselves are actually marketing materials for his services and other programs. And many of you out there, you have a service, and you may not want to write a Dan Kennedy book, but any kind of even small handbook that you can give away as a lead magnet can help boost your business. And as a speaker, why it's so valuable as a speaker is nothing provides a better excuse for asking to be on somebody's podcast or speak at an event than a book. You can say, well, why are you the expert? Well, I wrote the book on it. Here's the book. And also, for marketing, the average book has all that golden content. You can spin out social media things, little bits and pieces, little gems out of your book forever. If your book is on a series of short stories, you might even put out the whole short story somewhere with the link back to buy the whole book if you like the story. So all sorts of good things when you write and you create and you publish and you market. So I think that's all I'm going to say for today. And if you're interested in talking to me, there's a link. I'm going to put it in the comments, and there's a link in the show notes here to make an appointment with me at gregdixon.net/calendar. And here I had some kind of okay. So the question is what's your great big audacious blue sky goal that you want to achieve in 2025? Make an appointment to talk with me, and in the very least, I'll give you some ideas. And the other thing is I can write up a roadmap for you, sort of a blueprint for everything that you could do on your own, and I'm available to do it with you. So anyway, on that note, have a great day, and talk to you later.